Hi, I'm Simone, and today we're going to be making chocolate cupcakes with chocolate frosting. This is a quick and easy recipe for a lovely light sponge, and in this recipe our fat is oil and not butter. This cake's great because anyone can make it, and it is really fast and easy, and as it doesn't use any butter, your cake will stay moist for much longer. Now, butter is great in any kind of sponge cake and tastes amazing, but oil will keep your sponge really moist, and another plus for this recipe is that there's no creaming involved. So to start, you're going to add all of your dry ingredients into a bowl and mix until they're combined. You need to make sure that you sift all of the ingredients into this recipe because you don't want to have any lumps in this recipe at all. So make sure that you sift your flour and your baking powder and your salt and your cocoa in, and then just mix it quite quickly until it all looks roughly mixed in, and then you're ready to add your wet ingredients. This recipe includes buttermilk. If you don't have any buttermilk, you can make this as I did by adding 1 teaspoon of vinegar to your milk and then waiting 15 minutes for it to be ready. You'll be able to see the curds on the side of the glass when it's done. Now what you need to do next is add all of your wet ingredients that you've mixed together in a bowl first with a fork to your dry ingredients, and then mix those on a relatively slow speed in your mixer or by hand or with a hand whisk until it's properly combined. Now it's a really liquidy mixture, the kind that you would be able to pour quite easily, so make sure you do mix on a slow speed because if you don't you will lose quite a bit of it at the side of the bowl. I can say this from experience. I've lined 2 muffin trays with paper cases. This recipe will make around about 16 to 18 muffins. So fill the muffin cases to around about 2/3 full, as they will rise in the oven, and then place them into your preheated oven for around about 15 to 20 minutes until done. Now I've used a ladle to fill these muffin cases, but another way that you can do it is to add the mixture to a measuring jug and then just pour them in. To make your buttercream, melt your chocolate in the microwave slowly until it's fully melted and then place it to one side to cool slightly. This will only need to be for 5 or 10 minutes. Then mix your butter and your icing sugar or confectioner's sugar in a mixer or by hand until light and fluffy. If you're going to do this in the electric mixer, it'll take perhaps a minute. It'll take several minutes if you're going to do this by hand. You want the mixture to be both light and fluffy, and then you're going to be ready to add your melted chocolate. Don't add hot melted chocolate to your mixture as it will melt the butter, so do make sure that you leave it to cool for just a couple of minutes first. If you want an even more intense chocolatey taste, then you can add 3 tablespoons of cocoa to your buttercream mixture, sifted of course, and that will make it much more chocolatey and deepen the colour of your buttercream. Now I'm going to pipe onto my cupcakes. Now the buttercream for me is of piping consistency, which means that it's not so stiff that I can't control it when it's in the piping bag, but not so soft that it'll lose its shape. Now you can buy a variety of different nozzles for cupcakes. There are some traditional size ones which are used really for cakes, and then there are some much larger ones which will allow you to have the same sort of effect that I'm going to have on my cupcakes. As you can see, all of these tips are quite large. Now, these tips are around about 3 centimeters tall, which is just over an inch long, and they're about 1 centimeter in diameter at the opening, which is just smaller than half an inch, so really quite big when you compare them to the vast majority of nozzles. As you can see, there are a really wide variety of nozzles. I've just shown you a couple here. But I want to show you how to pipe as well. So what I do is I snip the end off my piping bag, and then I insert the nozzle, and then put that into a glass to hold it in place while I put the mixture into it. Then I take it out of the glass, put it onto the work surface, and then just slide my hands down it so I'm moving the mixture towards the nozzle, trying to push out all of the air holes whilst getting it to as far as the end as I can, but not enough so that it comes out. And then I secure it by folding the edges over, making sure there's a good gap at the top, and then twisting it to maintain that pressure so that it does stay near the top and I don't get any extra air holes in it. Then there are several ways that you can pipe. You can either start in the center and then work your way around the outside in a swirling motion towards the center, keeping the bag that you've got vertical and maintaining the pressure, and then just pushing and pull off the top. Alternatively, you can start on the outside, work your way in, and then push down and pull off at the top. You need to make sure that you maintain an even pressure though, otherwise you'll end up with air holes, and also it just doesn't look as attractive when you finished it because you don't get that even flow. So I just wanted to show you a little bit about how I do it. There are a number of different ways you can do like a big blob where you just start in the center and you just squeeze, but it really does depend. So just keep working on it until you find something that you like. One of the biggest things I would say with cupcakes is to make sure that you have the right nozzle. Either cut a big hole in the bottom of your Ziploc bag, or alternatively, use a nozzle, but a really fat nozzle so that you get that really nice finish at the end. If you use a really thin nozzle, then you will get a completely different finish, not the kind that you get in the boutique bakeries. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Please let me know what you think, leave a comment. And if you did like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye bye.